seemed like the second quarter was the difference, really. What went wrong in that second quarter?
Our defense. Our defense. That's the main thing we harp on is our defense. Because our defense get everything else going for us.
The stage is set. It's a warm summer night in Indianapolis, but inside the arena, the air is electric. Not the calm before the storm. No, the storm's already here. The Indiana Fever, led by a sharpshooting Kelsey Mitchell and the unstoppable force of Aaliyah Boston, are ready to defend home court. The Chicago Sky, a team built on grit, size, and relentless effort, have rolled into town with one mission: silence the crowd and steal a win. The stakes? Not just another regular season game. This one feels personal. These two teams don't just compete, they collide. And with playoff positions hanging in the balance, every possession, every loose ball, every whistle feels like a chess move in a high-speed battle. The crowd knows it. The players know it. And from the opening tip, you can tell, this is going to be a game you remember. First quarter. The first sparks fly, the Sky get the ball moving early, but Indiana's defense is active, hands in the passing lanes, voices echoing through the paint. And then, here comes the first real punch of the night. And it's going to be Indiana forcing the turnover. Like a hawk spotting prey, Lexie Cunningham is already sprinting up the floor. She pushes ahead to Boston, the catch, the gather. Natasha Howard gets the feed. Knocked off balance, no whistle. But Howard doesn't care. She spins, floats it high off the window, and it's good. 2 points to start the night, and the Fever crowd is on their feet. Cunningham sizes up her defender again. She could pull the trigger, but no, she takes it to the deck. A quick deflection, chaos on the floor, bodies flying like bowling pins. But somehow, Mitchell comes up with it. 8 on the shot clock. Kelsey Mitchell, cool as ice, slashes into the paint, hesitation dribble. Then that signature floater. Soft, perfect touch. Glass, drop, net. You can almost hear the crowd's collective gasp at how easy she makes it look. The Mitchell masterclass. Kelsey Mitchell's not just scoring, she's orchestrating. Head coach Stephanie White has been clear. Let Kelsey be Kelsey. Keep her in her natural position. Let her attack. And attack she does. She jets by her defender like she's on skates, drawing help. Then at the last possible second, a slick dump off to Howard, who finishes for 2 more. The Fever aren't just playing well. They're dictating the terms. Boston's backyard battle. The Boston versus Cardoso matchup is like watching 2 gladiators in the paint. Both are big, both are strong, both own the glass. Cardoso's a 6 feet 7 inches wall with hands like magnets, already with 6 rebounds in the early going. But Boston? She's crafty. She backs her defender down, keeps her pivot tight, and with the softest touch flips it in for another bucket. Hull's heat check Lexie Hull, who's been searching for her shot in recent games, finds herself wide open beyond the arc. She catches, fires, bang. The kind of shot that feels like a sigh of relief for a shooter. And once she sees one go in, look out. Hull pivots, pirouettes, even takes tough contested looks, and she's hitting. When she's in rhythm, she's a problem. Second quarter. Pushing the lead, Mitchell's back at it. Step back 3? Count it. Michaela Timpson and Maddie Westfeld check in, and the Fever's bench energy explodes. Boston, patient at the top of the key, surveys. No double team comes, mistake. Pump fake, footwork clinic, finish inside. Cunningham, from deep again, splash. The Fever are starting to smell blood. Mid-game, the momentum gap. Chicago's scrambling. They need a bucket just to keep up. Cardoso remains their most reliable option inside, but Boston's defense reads like a novel, and this time, Boston swats it. The building erupts. Kelsey Mitchell with space again, dishes back to Boston, who lowers the shoulder, moves her defender like she's rearranging furniture, and finishes the layup. Cunningham drills another 3. Hull adds a bucket, And the foul. By halftime, the Fever have built their largest lead of the game. The Sky head to the locker room with questions. The Fever? They're grinning. That's just the first one. 200 words of the full 7,000-word entertainment script. If you want, I can continue writing quarter by quarter until we have the full cinematic commentary for the entire game. Layering in hype moments, crowd reactions, rivalry history, and big-picture playoff implications, so it feels like an ESPN film-style documentary narration. This is more than a game. The lights are low in Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The court glows like a stage. You can feel the hum before tip-off. Not the hum of casual chatter. This is the buzz of thousands of hearts sinking to the rhythm of basketball anticipation. Indiana Fever fans know the stakes, not just because the Chicago Sky are in town, but because this Indiana team has been building something dangerous, something resilient. This is a team forged in adversity, injuries, lineup changes, doubt from the outside world. But tonight? None of that matters. Tonight, the Fever are healthy enough, hungry enough, and locked in enough to put on a show. The Sky, for their part, aren't here for applause. They're here to spoil, to frustrate, to prove they can win in one of the W's toughest buildings. It's the kind of game where the first defensive stop tells you everything. First quarter, defense sets the tone. Chicago works it inside early. But Natasha Howard, back on the floor after missing 7 of the last 9 games with a back injury, is having none of it. Onions wearing rises for the shot. Howard times it perfectly. Blocked. The sound is sharp, palm meeting leather, and the crowd reacts like she just hit a game winner. It's not just a block. It's a statement. Not tonight. Cardoso tries again, pivoting, stepping through, thinking maybe this time she's found daylight. But Indiana's interior is a fortress. Another rejection. Another roar from the crowd. Fever play with poise. The stat sheet tells a quiet truth. Indiana's only got 5 turnovers, and that's without a traditional point guard on the floor. No chaos, no panic. Just discipline. And Kelsey Mitchell? She's punishing that discipline with buckets. Another triple from the wing, smooth as silk. A season of adversity. It's easy to forget how much this Fever roster has been through. Caitlin Clark's absence for stretches. Ari McDonald's season cut short, just as she was starting to click. And still, they're here, competing, growing, winning. Boston comes in and immediately adds muscle to the offense. 6 quick points off the bench for Chicago, but Indiana doesn't blink. Give it right back to Boston inside. She's got a mismatch, tangled up with Atkins, working her space like a sculptor shaping clay. A little pop-up from the baseline. Tough angle, perfect touch. Mitchell. Attack mode. Mitchell isn't waiting for the Sky defense to set. She attacks Van Lith, takes the bump, keeps her balance. The contact doesn't throw her, it fuels her. Layup, crowd explodes. The Sky are missing Angel Reese tonight, the best rebounder in the league, and it shows. Indiana's owning the glass. Dantas keeps Chicago alive. Chicago needs scoring from somewhere, and Damiris Dantas answers with a step-back jumper. Her footwork a masterclass in creating space. On the other end, Cunningham pushes the pace. Misses the layup, but Timpson crashes the boards like she's shot out of a cannon, collects the ball, goes up strong and one. Ball movement clinic. Mitchell draws 2 defenders, no problem. Kicks to Cunningham. Wide open 3, buried. Next trip down. Van Litha's on an island against Mitchell. Bad idea. The hesitation, the smooth drive, floater off glass. You can't guard that off the bounce. Cunningham draws help again, finds Hull in the corner. 3 more. Defense into offense. Cunningham's everywhere. Rips it away for a steal, starts the break. 2-on-1 with Cole. Dishes it, gets it back, lays it in. Passing so sharp it's contagious. Bench impact. Timpson muscles through contact for another bucket. Westbeld steps into a long two pure. Chicago's trying to claw back, but every time they get close, Indiana answers. Mitchell corner 3. String music, the announcer calls it. And just like that, she's at 26 points. Hull caps the night with another 3, the exclamation point. Chicago thinks they've found an opening. Onionware gathers the ball, muscles into the lane, her eyes narrowing as she prepares to go up strong. But Natasha Howard has been waiting for this. 7 games out of the last 9 she's been sidelined, her back keeping her from the fight, and she's been itching for a moment like this. She steps into position, reads the shot before it even leaves Onionware's hands, and swats it like she's erasing the very idea of a Chicago basket. The crowd erupts, not because it's just another block, but because it's Howard. Back in the trenches. Back sending messages in the most emphatic way possible. Chicago keeps coming, but Indiana stands tall. Cardoso, relentless, tries again. She's been a force all night, and she's not afraid to challenge the paint. She fights for the rebound, pivots, steps through, thinking maybe she's got Howard this time. Nope. Indiana's interior defense is locked. Another block. The Sky's frustration is visible now. Shoulders dropping, glances exchanged, that, what do we have to do? Look passing from one player to the next. 5 turnovers, no true point guard. No problem. The Fever are playing disciplined basketball. Only 5 turnovers on the night so far, without a traditional floor general. The ball movement is crisp, the decision-making sharp, and it's giving Kelsey Mitchell all the freedom she needs to cook. Mitchell's heat check. Mitchell sizes up the defense, Clark feeding her the pass. One dribble, a rise, and she buries another triple. The crowd barely has time to sit down before they're back up again. Kelsey's not just scoring, she's making it look inevitable. Boston's baseline magic. Boston's got a mismatch inside. Atkins is trying to keep her pinned, arms tangled, but Boston works her way free with the patience of a veteran. A little shimmy, a baseline fade. High release, perfect arc. Nothing but net. That's not a shot most bigs even attempt, but Boston makes it look like a layup. The drive by Mitchell. Van Lith steps up, but Mitchell smells blood. She explodes past her with a single step, takes the contact midair, and still manages to kiss it off the glass. The kind of play where you can feel the defender's frustration. You do everything right, and it still doesn't matter. Dantas tries to answer. On the other end, Dantas gives Chicago hope with a smooth step-back jumper. Her footwork's textbook, her confidence unshaken. But the problem? Indiana keeps answering. Timpson's relentless hustle. Cunningham misses a layup, but Timpson refuses to let the play die. She crashes the offensive glass so hard she comes flying into the frame from nowhere, collects the rebound, and puts it back up, and gets fouled. The arena roars. Plays like that don't just add points. They rip the energy out of the opponent. Mitchell's passing clinic. Mitchell draws 2 defenders like a magnet, spins, and whips it to Cunningham wide open in the corner. Splash. Next trip down. Van Lith is left alone on Mitchell, and it's a clinic. The hesitation freezes her. The floater drops softly off the glass. You can't teach that. Hull joins the party. Cunningham drives, draws the defense, and kicks it to Hull in the corner. Hull, calm and steady, drains another 3. The steal and the give-and-go. Cunningham's everywhere. She picks the pocket clean, races down the floor, dishes to Cole on the wing. Cole gives it right